So this is kind of the order to cash value stream for what you say emergency service or reactive maintenance, all the way from the service being request to sending the bill and collecting on any unpaid invoices.
Yeah. So take a look, especially I like the way you have this split up into the categories and then some of the detail underneath it as well. But just looking at the light blue boxes across the top, let's go back to our example. We got voice of the customer and they said, hey, meeting the schedule and having that scheduled as soon as possible are two very important things related to the service call to repair the freezer, right? So we can look at each of these sections and say, okay, at what point, or what information comes out of the customer step that will help us to be on schedule, right, on time and early or soon, right, quick response. And so the customer needs to provide a certain amount of information. It's really important. When is your breakfast rush? And we don't want to be there during that time. Then customer service, how do they collect that information?
Right. So that's the first. Look, how do we collect information that has to do with getting on time? And what does getting on time mean? And what does fast mean? Yep.
Right.
Is you only have one grill? And like now you can't offer the menu anymore. So that you're shut down completely. Yeah. So I'm following here. Makes sense.
Yeah. And this is important too, Yassine. When you talk about customer service, how often have we run into this? Do they have, how robust is their collection method for that information? Is it consistent? Is it in a form that it can be easily passed on to the technicians, or does it have to be translated? Does it have to be interpreted? So we want to make that information when they collect it, almost like the technician was talking to the customer directly, right? That's the goal. We can start to see where the value comes from.
The accuracy of information and the completeness of the information.
Yeah.
We see a breakdown on that often as the information travel across or throughout the value stream,
through the entire value stream. Yes.
Pieces. You lose pieces of it, or the interpretation of it if it's not properly documented. Yep. And it's not structured, and it's not in your, even it has to do a lot of times in your ERP if there is no place to add it, and and you haven't trained your customer service agents or dispatchers to properly document this information, can get lost very, very easily.
And to create standards, right, excellent standards that everyone can apply, versus just trying to get the right people. And if you get the best people, they're going to do it. Yes. But that's that process piece. And so that's where operational excellence and lean comes in there. So then you got the other steps, right? And you can start to apply the same thing: dispatch, technician, parts, and tech support, having the parts there at the right time. How much does that impact the schedule? That's huge, right? And then love this point that you have billing and collections there, because what happens if the customer didn't pay their last two bills? How does that impact?
The value stream? Absolutely. Yes. If they're on hold, they're not going to get service.
Yeah. It's like they should be willing, they should be happy to pay for the value that our business is providing, the services that we're providing, right? And so look at how the throughout the value stream, the creation of value is dependent upon having the information at hand at each of the steps and being able to really kind of see the overarching process. To be able to see all the different areas and know what the billing status is at the customer service status, so that the technician doesn't get all the way out to the site and suddenly it's like, oh, I can't order parts for you because you're on credit hold.